stylist, makeup artist, and you decide to do a movie. So tell us how that came about.
You know, like a lot of projects that kind of grab you, I just woke up one day and it grabbed me. It was almost like it existed already. I was just looking for a place to land. So I really didn't get too involved with what I didn't know how to do, because that would have been the end of the project.
Well, this was filmed mostly on your phone.
Mostly on my phone. And anytime you saw somebody and I'm sort of chattering there, it was just me running around with my new phone. And then I just wanted...
And people told you you couldn't do that, right?
Oh yeah, all the time.
So that's why she did.
But you know, listen, women like to talk about their hair. So if you say, can I talk to you about your hair? They're gonna say, let me tell you about my hair. So that was kind of easy. That was easy. Then the other thing was I wanted women all around the world, and I wanted women at different stages and phases in their journey or their lives. And also I just wanted somebody to represent everybody, you know, so that there was no one who could see the film and say, well, there's nobody in there that I can even relate to. So it was Facebook and Instagram and me writing to people and convincing them, look, I'm not a stalker. I'm really pretty harmless. If you don't tick me off, I'm fine. And we kind of, and I went from there. And people submitted their stuff. And then they forgot, and life got in the way, and then I'd get back in touch, and I'd say, hey, you gonna do your thing? No, like, you know. And so we collected that stuff.
Well, that's kind of social media at its best,
right?
Because I think one of the things about going gray is kind of thinking what people will think, and pictures, and how you're gonna look, and certainly who's single here? Okay, so a lot of us. And who's on the apps? The apps, right. So one of the fears that I have, which is insane, because why would I want to be with somebody that says, like, I don't want to be with you because you've got gray hair? I never lie about my age. I'm like proud about it. I get to be 64, okay? But why would I want to be with somebody that doesn't want somebody with gray hair? But that's this weird fear that I have.
Well, let me ask you a question. So if you were with a partner, as you are, do you think he would not know that you're coloring your gray?
Well, this is funny. We were talking before, and I'm interviewing you, and I said, about going gray. And you said, Anne, you are gray. You were gray, and you're covering it up. And that's what's so messed up. And that's okay. Listen, this is no judgment, because I honestly, every time I do it, I'm like, it's touching my skin. This is not good. It can't be good for me, regardless of Madison Reed, which is like, it's natural.
Let me tell you something about Madison Reed. Yep, there's a class action suit there too. But you know, I always say this, we pick our poisons, and we all have our priorities, like what we're willing to do, eat the bacon, you know. We have to decide. So for some people, choosing not to cover their gray is easy. And for some people, it's really hard. And that's okay. It's a journey, it's a process, and it starts in here.
Right.
And then
well, we were talking about being afraid. Now, I don't think I'm afraid of anything. I am afraid. I am really afraid, and I don't know what it is.
It's a lot of things. But what if you stopped saying gray? What if you started saying silver? How would that feel?
Well, that's why I wore this.
Yes.
I was like, okay, I'm going to embrace it. I'm going to wear it. I'm going to make it pop. No, but we were talking about, so just going back to where it started, you know, you were in the chair, and you're a hair and makeup artist, right? So by virtue, like by definition, you are in some ways covering up. And I think we talked about like enhancing, you know, your job is to make...
I don't feel like I cover anybody up. I feel like I reveal them. And so sure, maybe I soften some stuff we don't really want to look at, but only because we want to draw out the things we do want to look at.
Right.
You know, there's nobody doesn't have something beautiful going on.
Right, and you were saying that as somebody sitting there in the makeup chair, they're pointing out all the things that
they sit down and they tell me what's wrong with them.
Right.
People never sit down and tell me, oh, I really like my eyes. They never say that. I have to remind them. And the other thing is, so the gray hair is coming out of my head over the years, and I'm sitting there with my clients or whoever, and they're looking, you know, they're looking at my head, and then they tell me about, they apologize for why they're covering their gray. You know, or they tell me why they would like to stop dyeing their hair, but they can't. So this conversation went on for 20-something years. And then came the pandemic, and I'm looking around, and I really knew, okay. And I wasn't thinking of making a film, but I was on a photo shoot, a big one, in Brooklyn, in the heart of the pandemic. The masks, the temperatures at the door, 7 shields, who could see a thing? And I took a break for some air. I'm walking down the empty streets, and there's this like hipster Brooklyn young mom in the Lenane situation in the $1 million stroller, and she got her ponytail, and it's half silver. And I said, dang, this is happening. It's happening. Because if that lady is rocking that half ponytail with her little baby, that's it. So I got a little bit excited at that moment, and then it was really like 2 years later, it continued to percolate.
Right.
To
Well,
watch
the pandemic, I was thinking back, because that's when, I was like, okay, honest to God, I have a hair cutter that I used to have to climb up 5 flights of stairs. It was in her apartment. And, I was hiding out at my ex-husband's house in Greenwich. He was not there. Otherwise, there would have been another casualty of the pandemic. He was in Florida. But anyway, but I'm hanging out, and I'm like, oh my God, it's coming. The roots, what are we gonna do? And I had a choice about risking my life and going back to Manhattan, okay? It was like, go and get my hair colored, and it was totally illegal, right? Or go gray. So the first thing I did was I ordered the Madison Reed online, and then I tried to get my kids to help me, because I was like, how do I do the back? How do I do the front, right? And that wasn't gonna happen, because we had it. But then it was just like, was my life going to COVID or go gray? And it was like, I'm going in.
Well,
I'm going into Manhattan, and I was just like, I'm going in. But I think I'm ready now. And the interesting thing that you were saying was that you were sitting in the chair and hearing about people and their hair. One of the things, we had a dermatologist, a cosmetic dermatologist, and a plastic surgeon that did a talk together here a couple of years ago, and I remember the number one thing that people are going to, the dermatologists are number one women, obviously, but number two, they're going for hair loss. So why do you think that is?
Well, there's a million reasons, but I know that when women start to grow out their natural hair, there's all these little pieces sticking out, and they don't know what to do about it. It's new hair. It's hair that had been a little bit suppressed because the follicles weren't that healthy. And so hair dye, even though it makes your hair thicker a little bit because it adds a little texture, and so that can be helpful, but it's damaging your hair follicles, so you're gonna have more hair loss than you would anyway.
But just think about it, because we were talking about, again, this earlier. When I was in high school, because I think about me compared to my kids now. When I was in high school, who remembers Herbal Essence, right? Okay? Right. You had Herbal Essence. Maybe you had a conditioner. You said in your day they didn't even have a conditioner.
Hair conditioner.
Right,
and I remember
it's not
when
your
we
day,
realized
you're 65, I'm 64.
No, I'm 68.
Oh, it's 6. Well, please.
Last I checked.
Well, anyway.
But anyway.
The conditioner came around in my era. But think about it. That's all we had. That's all we had. Now when I think about my kids, first of all, their skin routine, I don't even wash my face at night. I mean, they're horrified. No, sorry, I do not wash my face at night. Anybody that sees me on Instagram in the morning, you'll see that. But anyway, they have a whole face routine. What does that involve? How many different chemicals? How many different creams? Then the hair. There's mousse, there's conditioner, there's gel, there's shine, there's all this other crap, forgetting about the regular shampoo and the conditioner and then the dye that you're using. So it's no wonder that our hair is falling out, because people were not going in droves to the dermatologist because their hair was falling out. Their hair, there's study after study that they're talking about that our hair is falling out.
It's a crisis.
Right, it's a crisis.
Because our hair is who we are.
So I want to just say, what possessed you to make this? I mean, you started it, you said maybe 2022-ish?
I'm not so good with the numbers, but I was 65, so I was 65, now I'm 68.
Okay.
It was like it came at me through the door.
So when was it finished?
It was finished exactly 2 years later. Okay. So it was like 2025 November.
You did such a good job. You did really a
Thank
good
you.
job.
Thank you.
Really, really a good job. So how can we, I want to open it up just for a few questions or comments, but we're going later, and I also have my team here that works hard during the day. How can we support you?
Oh, a million ways. First of all, I need reviews on IMDb.
Okay, so what do we do? So IMBD.
IMDb.
Okay, IMDb.
So you just write a review because that's the way the streaming platforms kind of look to see if it's worth putting you up on those platforms. Post about it. It's available for people to watch. It's available for people to host screenings like this.
So what do? We go to Your Roots Are Showing Film.
No. Yes. I'm a little tired. YourRootsAreShowingFilm.com, and then you can always reach me. But I do want to say that I make it available for worthy fundraisers. So if anybody, has an organization they're hooked up with and they want to use it and try to make some money for a good cause, I'm in. So that's what we can do.
A few questions or comments. Go ahead, Lisa. Yes, it is Lisa.
Okay, so first of all, I thought it was brilliant. I just thought I was engaged the whole time. I'm an editor. I'm an editor as well because I have been doing commercials forever, and I just thought that it was so interesting. It was fascinating the whole time. Every word. I loved every minute of it, and so kudos.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
And then I wanted to ask you, is your goal to have it released anywhere? I want to tell everyone I know.
Tell
to see
everybody.
it.
Well, pick up a card. It is streamable right now on this little platform called Kinema. It's there.
Do you have any PR? Are there any conversations out there in the
there
world?
There are. I do my thing. I talk to people. You do your thing, and it has its own muse.
Tag her.
Yeah. I want to help you. I think it's
help me. Just
do
definitely
a post about
help me, please. But really, thank you.
Carol, also a virgin. Look at the heart. There you go.
So I'm in a position to give a lot of people advice because I'm one of the older people here. I'm 87. And
yes, Queen. Yes. I want you to all check out her shoes. When you guys leave, I want you to check out her shoes.
Yes.
By the way. Okay.
John Flulo. So anyway, but I have something I really want to say. So I dyed my hair like everybody else for a pack of years, and about 25 years ago, I came out looking like Lucille Ball. And I thought, no, that's not my personality. And every hairdresser said, oh, you're going to look so old, don't let your hair grow natural. Well, I let it grow natural, but I want to tell you how. So I did two, not by chance, two brilliant things. One is that I changed hairdressers who dyed my hair to somebody special for undying hair, so to speak. And he dyed it a lighter brown, and then a lighter brown, and then a lighter brown. It took about a year. So that the color was more and more natural, going with my skin. And then, by chance, I went swimming in a pool every single day. And because of the chlorine in the pool, it just kind of oozed out. So I never, ever went through a period of looking ridiculous because of these two things, and that's why I'm standing up to tell you that.
There you go. Yeah, there are specialists to do that because there's a person on Instagram that has a gazillion followers and it's $5,000 and you come out looking gray, and that's what I thought I could do. I thought I could just dye it gray. Well, that's not what you do because you kill your hair. So it is a process. It is, you got to go to the experts.
There's a lot of ways
to
do that. There's no one way to do it, and it's complicated. When your person is ready, the way is presented. No, really, there's a lot of ways, and there's not, we're not the same. Our hair's not the same. How we're willing to walk around is not the same.
Okay, so, I got two more questions. Go ahead.
So I want to go back to something you said earlier when people tell you the bad things about yourselves. I don't know if anyone saw this. This is probably 2013. It's been a while now. Dove did a campaign, right? If no one's seen it, I invite everyone to see it because it's an interview across several different women or several different people. And the way we describe ourselves of I've got sad eyes, my hair's blah, 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 and then they go in and interview someone else who talked to you for maybe 5 minutes before, and the way you describe yourself versus the way someone else describes yourself is wildly different. Someone else will say, you will say like, I have sad eyes, my hair's blah, and they'll go, she had a really pretty smile. She had positive energy. So for anyone who's not seen that, I would say look at it and just remember that, because we are not kind to ourselves all the time. And it matters when you realize, like you said, everyone's got something beautiful about themselves, and so just lean into that.
It really is true.
It was funny because we were talking before, and you were saying that women sit in the chair and they give you a whole list of things that they hate about themselves.
Oh, what's
so
wrong?
I turned to you and I said, what do you love most about yourself? And it was frozen. So everybody in here, if I asked you, what do you hate most about your body, your face, whatever, you'd have this like a long list. But if I asked you, and I want you to think when you leave today, what do you love most about yourself? In terms of your personality, but in terms of your body. What do you love most about yourself? One more question or something.
I was going to.
Tell us, Randy. Tell us what you love most about yourself, baby.
I've helped a lot of children get through very difficult times.
Wonderful, wonderful speech therapist right here. Okay. Good.
Yeah, something. Of course. One of the most beautiful lines that I picked up on in the movie was when the woman
Closer.
who let her hair go gray and she was single.
Randy, hold it.
And she went into a relationship and she told the gentleman she was in a relationship with that I'm intending to go gray, and he was all for it. And she said, I think he's a keeper. And that spoke to me because I'm single, and before COVID I was dating somebody for several months. And when we were in the midst of COVID, he said to me, you don't make yourself look good for me anymore. Your hair is all curly, and you're going natural. And I knew he was not a keeper.
Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Okay, I think that's it. Thank you so much for coming. Bye-bye.
Thank you.